I'm Bran, and I love Lifetime movies.
I'm Patrick Serrano, and I'm a Lifetime movie expert.
I'm Dan, and I despise Lifetime movies, and this is the Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
One day we're going to hit it. One day we're going to sync it up.
But here's what I'll tell you about this is we've both done both, and we mess it up a lot. You were not committed there.
No,
to
I
anything.
wasn't. I was going to try.
I was committed to something. You were committed to nothing there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes I don't know what's going on.
Right.
You were so wishy-washy. You were just like, hey, I don't believe.
Call me wishy-washy Bran.
Wishy-washy Bran.
It's great to be.
And I'm on a lag. I'm on a time lag, so I don't want to jump in there.
No, of
There's
course.
nothing you can do.
You have an easy out.
I just want to give a shout out, Patrick, to a most recent review that we got on the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Like,
on
The Deck the Hallmark podcast, as we call it here.
the
podcast.
podcast
Yes.
I didn't know I needed. This is from Holly's Cat. I have never watched a Hallmark movie. I came here via Lifetime Uncorked.
Let's go.
Whoa.
But listen to this podcast every day. These guys have the energy of my favorite Sports Center shows, but it's all directed to romance. It's like peanut butter and bananas. It shouldn't work, but it's incredible. P.S. I love the bits. Keep them coming.
So put one in the bits column over there if we could. One in the bits column. Thank you. There it is. Did you make a donkey sound with a
That's
cat?
The bit. It's the bit sound that happens when you make the bit.
What'd you say, Patrick? You were joining in a bit?
I said thanks, kitty. Meow, meow.
Thanks,
for the
kitty.
review.
Yeah. So
Holly's
there
cat.
you go.
There you go.
A big shout out to Patrick, obviously, because we have listeners that listen because of Patrick, which is pretty great.
There's crossover there, and it should probably officially become like a merge thing at some point. But we'll get there.
We'll get there.
There's
Look, it takes years for things like that to happen, Patrick.
Our lawyers have been talking for a long time.
That's right. There's a lot in the weeds there that makes that difficult.
A lot of people, I'm getting early word from Philo. Obviously, you can watch us on Philo, philo.tv/DTH. Patrick, it looks like you're wearing a backpack today. Would you like to speak to those people that have been talking about that?
It's just a tank top, but I got a new little necklace that I wanted to show off, so I had to do like a low cut shirt.
It's very nice, and I do just want to say I follow you on social media, and it looks like you made some bread, some Easter bread.
Oh
yeah,
that was colorful, and you had a very cute Easter shirt.
Oh, thank you. I got so many compliments. The pastor was like, "Your shirt's cool," and I was wearing a sweater over it because I was like, "This shirt's too much for church," and no, he was into
Top
it.
10 signs you're at the wrong church.
Can I just ask you real quick though? You put the shirt on, and you said this is too much for shirt, but you then put a sweater on. At some point, you ditched it because the pastor complimented the shirt. What happened?
When I walked out of the church, it was like I had risen. I took off that shirt, and I threw it away, and I had my buttons. It was great.
Buried in the likeness of his death, risen to walk in newness. A shirt.
I know. In a show one time, I played a gay Jesus, so sacrilege is like not a thing that I care about.
Did you tell the pastor that?
When he
no, I didn't.
Okay.
Hey, if you ever...
I did. I was gay Jesus, and I did CrossFit.
You were gay Jesus and did CrossFit both in the play, like gay Jesus does CrossFit?
Yeah, that was.
You don't think straight Jesus would do CrossFit?
He does have the abs. So
it's CrossFit. It was CrossFit like a play on words.
CrossFit.
Yeah, it's a play on words.
Yeah,
it is. And it's a play. It was a play too.
And it was a play.
It was a play on a play on words.
Gay Jesus.
Also, the early reviews are in, Patrick. People loved the Lifetime game show Palooza that we did last week.
Loved it.
That is shocking.
Yeah.
to me.
We're all shocked. We're all shocked. Bran said black horse and
we've cracked games.
We cracked
it. We weren't sure going out of it, but I think it's pretty clear that we cracked games. So maybe we'll do it again soon. I think it was a lot of fun.
Sure, that's fun.
But that's not why we're here today. Today we're here for a good old-fashioned movie breakdown. Patrick, which movie did you select for this week's Deck the Lifetime.
So-
Or this month's Deck the Lifetime.
Yes, for this month, we we had a couple contenders, and there was the Easter holiday there, kind of slowing the movie release
Sure.
schedule up. So we went with a movie that came out a couple weeks ago. It's called My Acting Coach Nightmare. My Acting Coach
Oof.
Nightmare.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
You
Yeah.
My
say
acting coach nightmare.
you say slowing it up.
Yeah, the release schedule, they've been doing like one or two a week.
I say
for
slowing
for
it
the month
down.
of
I say slowing
March.
it down.
Slowing up.
Slowing up.
Slowing it down.
It's like,
I
hey,
say
bump-
slowing it down as well.
It's like bump the air up or bump
The
the
air
down.
up, air down is a real conundrum.
What do you
That's
do
That
if
does-
you want more air?
If I wanted to be cooler,
Bump it up.
If I wanted to be cooler, I say turn the air down.
Turn the air down.
But I would say turn the AC up. That's wild. If I'm like turn the air down,
You're talking about the temperature.
that's the temperature. If I say turn the
temp,
AC
yeah.
up, I mean I want the AC cranked. Man, we got
Yep.
Like AC
we
in
need
your
to
car.
shut it down and just think. For a
we
little bit.
we don't have time because we're talking about my
Okay.
acting coach nightmare.
That's right.
Right.
Who's in this
No.
movie? Who's in this movie, Patrick?
There's no thermostat in this movie, thankfully, but they do come up in Lifetime every now and then. The movie My Acting Coach Nightmare stars Samir Armstrong, who we love. She played the sister in one of the movies we did early on, but now she's up to leading role.
She's the lead. Yes, she plays.
She's the
she
leading
plays, okay, yeah, she was great.
Yes, we have
She
our,
looks
our
a
boy.
smidge like speaking of Lost, who's also Mrs. Claus now in the Santa Clauses, and was in that movie with Cameron Matheson. Elizabeth.
Elizabeth from Lost.
She is now Mrs. Claus. She was in that Christmas movie with Cameron Matheson, The Christmas Club.
Is it
Elizabeth Mitchell.
Elizabeth Mitchell. She looks a
There
smidge
you
like
go.
Elizabeth Mitchell.
When you said Elizabeth inquisitively, I was like, I've missed this, but it was Elizabeth Mitchell.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm like Leslie Bibb. Leslie Bibb was in
No,
that.
not Elizabeth. Okay,
I
who
like
else? Who
Leslie
else?
Okay, we got Cameron Jabo, our boy.
Yep.
Power Ranger boy. Neela Jolene.
She plays
and
our lead girl.
Yes, the teen. She's the teen who wants to take acting classes. She was good as well.
And
then
who
we
else?
have the big first Lifetime movie appearance of Eric Von Detten, who you may know from Disney Channel's Brink.
We do know him from Brink.
We do unfortunately know him from
Decom
Brink.
Descendants. We have reviewed it.
Yeah,
on
go to
that podcast.
decomdescendants.com.
Give it a listen. Give it a listen.
You'll
Yes,
enjoy
Aaron?
yourself.
Yeah.
I have a question for Patrick. Patrick, did you know Eric was in Brink, or did you get a strongly worded text from Bran last night?
Both, but I knew that, but I have never seen Brink.
Don't
I
waste
know
your
that
time.
he's a cutie from Disney back in the day. He's
Brink
he's
from
like,
Brink.
Yeah, he's
Would've
like a
thought-
hotter JTT of that era.
Yeah, I would
Wow.
have thought you knew him from Princess Diaries.
Yes, Princess Diaries
Not
for
Brink.
sure.
Yeah.
Brink from
Yep.
Brink, as we
Brink
call
from
him.
Brink,
here.
as we call him around
Yes. So Brink is in this movie, and we will talk about Brink.
And his first Lifetime movie, which I went back and looked at the IMDb because I was like, how is this guy
Well, I don't think-
not done a Lifetime movie by now?
I didn't think he was acting anymore. He's
He does a lot of voiceover stuff.
Voiceover
yeah, he's
stuff.
Sid from Toy Stories, obviously,
yeah.
but he does like he's like a lawyer or something. Like a
Yeah, he like hasn't made like a face appearance
yes.
in a movie since like, I don't know, 2005, 2006. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Decided this was the one. My
This
acting
was
coach
the one.
nightmare.
Let's find out
This is
why. Patrick, you and I watched this movie. Dan, you did not. We are going to tell you all about this movie in intense detail. Patrick,
Yes.
take it away.
You know, some details I may have missed, but the movie starts off with we get a like, sleepy like river town kind of thing. It's like it's not like Rodeo Drive River. It's like the Mississippi River, right?
Yeah, and
And-
they're very proud of the fact that they know how to do like caption, like words on the screen.
Cool.
They're like, hey, this boulder's going to move and words are going to come out of it. And you're like, hey, cool, you did it. So that happens for a while.
Yeah, it was a long intro, of all the river, all the neighborhood.
It's a great river.
Setting the scene. We're in the middle of nowhere is what you need to know. There is an aspiring teen actor named Sienna. She gets a flyer in the mail about an acting workshop, which is a red flag. If you get a flyer in the mail about an acting workshop, don't take it.
Really?
That's spammy.
Is
That's not good.
Have you ever been in an acting workshop? You're like, why did I do this?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we're talking about my acting coach nightmare. I've had plenty of those.
Really?
Plenty. I've had my fair share.
Fair
And then
share.
some. Absolutely. Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay, good.
But yeah, the business is shady, and that's what the mom says. Her name is Lisa, and Lisa is like, I don't know. I don't think this acting thing is going to work out. Like you might be talented, but the industry is shady, and I don't like it. So let me think about it.
And the girl's just like, you don't get it. Like you do spreadsheets. I want to be an actor. That's what we do. Sometimes you got to take chances. And there's a lot of anytime, and this is important. Anytime in this movie where there's an argument between daughter and mom, it is you don't understand me.
You don't understand.
That is every argument.
Yeah. And that's a typical Lifetime trope of the mom and daughter always like they're talking at each other. They're not listening to each other, right? Lisa also talks to her boyfriend Mark, who is our Brink from Brink, Eric Von Detten. They've had a rough summer. The dad died tragically in like a car accident, I think.
Yes.
And she's worried that Sienna's taking out her feelings on, like, from the father dying in this class. Like, it's like therapy, but not,
Yes, and it's clear that like she does not like she's not married to Mark. They're just like together, but it is clear that he kind of would be open to being that father figure for Sienna, and Sienna has no interest.
No interest at all.
And Brink from Brink being that.
I think she shouts at some point in the movie, "You're not my father."
Yeah, she does say that. Yeah, while playing Big Jenga. We'll get there.
Big Jenga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big. It was big. It should have been in the yard. Sienna attends a local theater with her friend. Her friend Amy's there, and Amy's been in the class a couple weeks. She's like showing her the ropes, and then we meet Max Frost. He is a professional actor.
Max Frost.
Straight from Hollywood, baby. He knows the ins and outs of the business. And he also teaches this class, which is apparently like you can. It's been going on for a while. I don't. My question is this class is clearly ongoing. It's been going on for a little while, but he's still sending out flyers.
But my question is this: is in the year of our Lord 2024, where you can IMDb costume designers, set designers. Shouldn't you like are we just supposed to take for just that Sienna has not done any of this, or does this guy have some actual credits, do you think?
I guess he has experience in Hollywood, I guess is what he says, and he just says that he knows people and he has a house there.
Yeah, and he's a coach. He's a coach. He doesn't do
gotta
it.
have some cred, right?
Maybe not.
Okay.
He lived in Hollywood.
I just know there's a nightmare coming, and I feel like if you should be able to see it. Yeah,
there is a nightmare.
Yeah,
coming.
Right. So Max has everyone's like vying for his approval.
They're vibing for his approval.
They're vibing and they're vying, and he has a current star pupil. Her name's Haley. She really nails the mirroring exercise. If you guys have ever been,
all right, are you ready, Patrick? Put me big next to Patrick. All right, are you ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
Here, you mirror me.
This with a
are you ready?
Gonna be great.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
No, other one. Do it like other.
Oh man, if you're on philo.tv/DTH and you're thinking of canceling right now, please don't. Like, there's so much good there.
Yeah, we crushed it. Basically, you just saw this. You just saw the scene.
And if you've ever taken an acting class, that is it. You just slowly move your hands around and kind of try to do it simultaneously. No one's leading.
That's how you and I start every morning.
We start every morning with a mirror exercise.
That's true.
Sienna is amazed by this. She literally turns to Amy and is like,
"Yes,
how are they doing that?" It's great.
Like, it's like magic. But Haley's like really good, and there is like some sexual tension there between the student and the teacher, and we're like, uh-oh, that's not good.
His name's Max Frost, for crying out loud.
yeah. So Sienna's like really happy and like excited for the class, and she tells her mom all about it, and because her mom picks her up, and she's very embarrassed by that. But the next class, they start to work on text. And I sent a clip because the text they're working on is Romeo and Juliet. Dan, your favorite.
Yeah, of
Shakespeare
course.
play.
I'm sorry. Set it up.
Here we go.
And what's happening here? The star pupil is on display for everyone, showing her skills as Juliet, and with a very gay Romeo.
Fair enough.
It.
Haley?
She shrugs.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name.
Haley?
Okay, we can stop it there.
Again.
Why don't we start?
And so I would like for you, Dan, to just remember that scene.
I will not be able to forget it.
To remember the way in which she's responding to Max in that class.
She's a terrible actor.
Well, she's like
mad.
rolling her eyes.
She's mad. She's like, whatever.
She's doing this on purpose. This is like
way different than the mirroring exercise, where she was clearly enthralled by everything Max Frost.
Mm-hmm.
In this class, it's just like,
it's actually Martin Short's son for Santa Claus 4.
Yeah,
Max Frost.
Why am I even doing this? Why am I even doing this?
There you go. And Sienna's like, what the heck? So she's playing the nurse, of course, and she does her nurse monologue, and Max Frost is like, you are so good. You are too sexy hot to be playing the nurse. You should be Juliet. You should be Juliet. And Sienna's like, oh my gosh, me? I'm the new girl. And
I would
her best friend
I would just like to speak really quickly to all the young people out there that are interested in getting involved in the arts.
Yeah.
If your teacher mentions your physical appearance at all,
you should tell someone.
Tell somebody
immediately.
Leave. Don't come back. Cause woof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless apparently for some Deck the Hallmark fans, it's Nick and Alice. Then
that's different.
Then all bets are off.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Go ahead.
Then that's fine.
Yeah. No. It isn't.
Patrick doesn't even know.
Patrick doesn't know.
He's like, yeah.
Don't pipe in, Patrick.
No,
I do just want to say, like, watching this movie after just recently watching the Quiet on Sets Nickelodeon docuseries made this a tough watch.
It did.
I don't know if they had knew that was coming out and they planned the release accordingly, but expert timing on Lifetime's part.
Oh yeah, very on the nose of like culture and what's going on. And the young people do need to know that it's not okay.
Yeah.
Like in my high school experience at a performing arts high school, we had like breathing exercises where we would all lie on the floor in pitch black dark with the windows taped over with the teacher all alone for hours. That was what I did in school.
That's credit. You're getting credit for that.
I got credit for
Yikes
that. And
bikes.
Surprise, surprise, that teacher turned out to be sleeping with one of the students who got all the lead roles.
What?
Wow.
I can't believe it, Patrick.
That was my first experience with an acting coach. So
seemed above board
that's
until
where you're
then.
starting, you're like, okay. Yeah. So I think it's not that uncommon is what I'm saying.
No, absolutely. It's not. Yeah, for sure.
So we got to nip that. Anyways, moving on. The show must go on.
Sienna gets to be Juliet.
And
Amy
not
quite.
Is
He's basically like you're too good to be doing this. She's not Juliet yet.
She's not Juliet.
That's coming. That's coming.
It happens. So Amy and Sienna are leaving class. They see Haley and Max Frost like in an argument across the street, and they're like, "What's going on? Oh my gosh!" But then Lisa, the mom, comes up and like ruins like everything, and she's like, "Mom, we're trying to eavesdrop," and like, she's like, "I'm concerned because they tell the mom about the fight, and she's like, "I'm concerned about a teacher fighting with a student in the middle of the street. Like that doesn't sound like good. And she is concerned that her daughter like got the role so fast. Like something's feeling wrong to her. She's like not feeling great.
Yeah. And things are feeling wrong here too, because I think it's time for a break.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
That wasn't my best.
you're
That
right.
wasn't my best. We'll be right back.
Let's
Here and take
cover all the
whole- I'm
windows.
sorry, everybody.
We're going to transition school, but Bran had a bad experience with that teacher.
Man, that was
no.
tough. This was a tough.
Yeah.
That was a tough go to break. I'll do better next time. We are back.
Good
though.
luck doing worse.
We are back. And Sienna,
Yes.
Sienna's excited to be Juliet.
She is. She the gay Romeo just can't get the vibes right with the love, and Max Frost has to step in and do a line reading and reads the whole scene with Sienna, and they have all this like tension going on.
He holds her
and
hand. He's like,
Yeah,
let
he's,
me
like,
show
touching
you.
her.
Let me show you, child, how to do this line. And he does it with holding her hand and is very like passionate about it. He's like, yes, that is art.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, this is so amazing!" Except for Lisa, the mom, who is not happy to learn that Sienna will be staying after class for one-on-one tutoring,
That's right.
acting tutoring.
That's right.
And she's like very upset. So she talks to Mark over the big Jenga. We get the big Jenga scene.
Like it's
and-
life-size Jenga, like
They
that
are-
at the smokehouse.
It's a
You know
little
what
bit
I'm talking
smaller,
about?
bigger than normal, smaller
Local
than the biggest
queue.
you've seen. It is.
Is it bigger than the local queue?
Too big for a table.
Too big for a table, but they're
table.
sitting inside. They're playing it.
They're sitting down?
and they're jams. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're sitting on the floor playing.
Yeah, and this is
And-
when they try to talk to her, and when she says, "You're not my dad."
Yeah, because she's feeling like they're saying she's not talented, but they're saying like be careful
Yeah.
around men in powerful situations where they're the only like check. There's no checks and balances, and she's like, "What are you saying? Like he just wants me to be the lead because I'm hot? Like I have talent." And this is what I say all the time. Like, you want me to just do this because I'm hot? Like I'm talented too.
Right.
Patrick that's the one thing. Patrick's really low maintenance, but the one thing is that if he thinks he's getting special treatment because he's attractive, it is, gosh, it's tough. It's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Look, it's tough. We're trying our best here, Patrick.
Look, one time a barista gave me a drink for free. I threw that in their face. I said, "I don't need your free drink. I will pay with my money. My looks don't get me everything."
That's right.
But do they get you some things? Because it seems like you're pretty aggressively pushing back against it.
Well, right. It's called pretty privilege, and I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
Well, your tank top backpack says otherwise, Patrick.
That's right. The guy that wears a tank top to record doesn't want you to treat him differently because he's pretty.
Yeah.
There you go.
more
There you
fair.
go. I have been working out 5 days a week with my sister-in-law, and let me tell you, she is.
What are you doing? What are you
Insanely
doing, Patrick? What's the
insane.
workouts? What are you doing?
We're doing the Mark Wahlberg F45 and the OTF Orange Theory Fitness.
Wow.
5 days a week.
I don't
It's
know
a
what that
lot.
first
Your
thing.
promo code-
Mark
Promo code
Wahlberg.
PAD at
Did
checkout.
you say Mark Wahlberg up 45?
F45, like fitness, but you only do it for 45 minutes.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, and I'm
Too
like,
much. Hold on,
sign
Aaron,
me
you have
up.
thoughts?
I'll say, no, if you want, Italia Ricci and her husband, they own an F45 gym. You can go and train with them.
Yeah,
Oh,
stop
okay,
selling.
great.
I
I'm
think
down.
I'm probably
Go right
good.
over
You want to
there.
go?
I mean, we'll go right over.
Yeah,
there.
Orange Theory. I'm a big OTF guy myself. Who down with OTF?
Yeah.
You know.
You got to get the heart rate up. It's
Yeah, you
good
got to
for
get the
But,
cardio's good for you, man.
Yeah, we're all getting older.
That's
so
right.
Just put in the time on the treadmill.
That's right.
Get yourself a Peloton or whatever you need to
There
do,
you go.
or go out and have a walk. But but Sienna doesn't want to hear any of that.
No, she
wants
doesn't.
people to love her for her talent. She is talented.
She's got a
good.
talent. The next day, though, obviously Lisa's still concerned, and so she sends Mark. She sends Brink
Hi, Mark.
to go talk to Max Frost and try to get hey, get a read on this guy.
She sends Brink.
She sends Brink.
Okay, got
And
it.
so,
Right.
Brink has a conversation. He's like, "Hey, pretty concerned about the whole, one-on-one." And he's like, "Totally get it, dude. I usually send out a request for the one-on-one, but this was we kind of needed to do it then.
It's
and
above board.
above board. And I welcome any questions like that. Doing the sweet talk and hey, really appreciate your concern. But Brink seems pretty convinced at this moment that, this is no big deal. And
right. It's clear that Max Frost has had parents bring concerns to him before like this.
Right. And after class that day, Patrick, there is, we see somebody taking pictures across the street. You're just kind of like, all right, that's weird. Taking pictures of the kids as they're leaving class. You're like, that's weird. I'm sure we'll figure out what that is. But for now, we don't know. It's just someone taking pictures of kids across the street.
There you have it.
So Sienna decides to use that after time special time with Max to talk about Hollywood, how to like break into the biz, and he tells her that she's pretty enough to make it, and there are groups that she can join to move her career forward.
Groups.
When she moves to Hollywood. Groups.
Illuminati.
I'm like Scientology.
Scientology, maybe. Yep.
And then he's like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a photo shoot with you and get you some headshots.
She's like, if you remember, Patrick, headshots are a part of the class.
That's a part of the
class. It was on the flyer.
Yeah.
It was on the flyer.
I don't think she expected this. She's surprised, but he's like, you know what? The Romeo and Juliet front page and back page, left and right.
We don't need to
we don't need that.
any
We're doing
acting.
So, photo shoot, picture.
Yikes.
It's all good.
Montage. It's a
montage.
And they're terrible headshots. We get all these different shots, and they're all bad. There's not a good one not usable one in the bunch.
I thought they were nice.
They're good for pictures, but they're not headshots.
Okay.
Patrick, did you get professional headshots done when you move to Chicago?
Of course I did, and I had to. I did them in my college town, and I drank like a whole bottle of wine before because I was really nervous. Those didn't turn out great, so yeah, I redid them in Chicago.
How much does run you? How much do headshots run
cost?
Oh, like $350 probably is a good average. I don't know now, probably more.
Yeah.
I don't do I'm offer only now.
Yeah, you're offer only, yeah.
No, and more than fair.
We have to send a formal offer every time we do the show.
Yeah.
And he's like, is it because I'm pretty? Anymore. And we're like, no, it's not.
No, it's not because it doesn't hurt that you're pretty, but it's not the only reason.
That's right.
You're a Lifetime movie expert.
That's right.
We start there and we go.
It's your expertise.
Yes. Why wouldn't we?
This is the movie, the Lifetime movie for me, for real.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say during the photo shoot, he's like, "Why don't you take off that jacket?
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you unbutton a button? That type of thing." And you're like, "Oh boy!" And she really is like not comfortable with it.
Yeah, she's not I will say, this scene started and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is going to get real bad. It didn't get as bad as you were expecting it to get, but still way icky. Over the line and uncomfortable. Yeah. But she, you know what? She's like, and then he does this thing and it's really creepy afterwards. He's looking down at the pictures and he's like, they're going to love you.
Okay.
And she's
all
right, I guess.
All right, Max Frost. Take it down a notch.
Well, and the thing about this whole scene about like not going too far, like that's what happened was enough to make Sienna uncomfortable.
For sure.
So that's enough to talk to somebody and be like, hey, this was
100%.
Yeah. And that's what you need to do. Even if you're like a little bit like, oh, I don't know about that, you should say something.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
see something, say something.
See something, say something.
Yeah. But she gets the pictures on her computer and she's like looking through them and she's like, okay, this is nice. She gets to one of the pictures with Sand Sweater and she's like, oh, this is kind of weird. Then she gets a phone call and she goes to take this phone call, walks out of the room. Well, what does mom do? Mom walks in with laundry, sees the pictures.
Yeah.
And then another big argument.
Here we go.
Happens.
Big fight. She's like, it's unacceptable to take pictures like that. You're walking mattress. Like she just really lays into the daughter and like blames her.
Mattress. Oh
but
my
they do get in a big argument. And Sienna goes to leave, and that is when Brink from Brink comes outside and gives my favorite line delivery of the movie, which I did bring. I brought as well.
Hold
on. Oh, why isn't it playing? Hold on. Here we go. Okay.
What did I miss?
Brink from Brink, crushing it. What I miss.
So good. I love that he brought his SoCal energy from Brink.
He's Brink. This is adult Brink.
It's adult Brink.
It's adult Brink.
Eric Von Detten isn't like, you'd never be mistaken for range. You know what I mean? Like Brink he is, he is who he is.
Yeah.
I love it. It was like so funny for me in this movie. Just like, man, this guy is just himself in this movie.
So
the Sienna runs off.
Yeah, right.
She's with Max, in a dressing room, of course. And I'm like, does he live in the dressing room? Like, why is he there? He hugs her and tells her that it's a safe space. And Mark comes into the theater and he's like, this is inappropriate. This is terrible. And basically, like, Max Frost blames Mark. Like, he's like, you are creeping around the theater. Like, you're here like all the time, like waiting for me after class. Something's wrong with you. Like, you're an abuser or like a weirdo.
Yeah. And he's basically like, hey, like you're over here acting like I'm this bad guy, but we're getting some complaints about you. Some people are saying that they're seeing you lurking across the street, watching the kids.
Oh my goodness.
And he's like, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about?
That's good. That's really good. And in a previous scene, we see someone tampering with a car, but we don't have any context to what that is. So,
yeah.
But now it's coming into play.
Yeah, you're
right?
right.
Come full circle
no, I
there.
see what's gonna happen here, right?
So, Lisa finds a camera and pictures while Mark is sleeping in his car.
Hold on. False.
Oh, what?
Not entirely true.
Wait.
False.
Okay, just really quick. So Sienna and Mark, Sienna and Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
They come in and he's like, you won't believe what she did. And that's when Lisa's like, well, he's being a little creeper. Said that he was taking pictures of kids coming out of the class. And Mark's like, I don't even have a camera. Have you ever even seen me with a camera? And she's like, that's a good point. I've never seen him.
You're
with
so proud of your Eric Von Dettman impression, and rightfully so.
I've never seen you with a camera. And Lisa's like, whatever, I'm going upstairs. And obviously this causes Lisa's mind to begin to run. Like, what if he has some sort of secret camera? So then she goes up to the car and doesn't find a camera. Instead finds an envelope. And inside the envelope are a bunch of pictures of kids leaving the theater. And so she goes up and she Mark's out there outside asleep with a drink in his hand, as he does. She throws the pictures on him and is like, what is this? And he's like, what? And he's gone. So the next day, out of here.
He's living his best life, but he's out of the house. Amy confronts Sienna and tells her that it's weird that she got the lead role. She like something's going on. The whole class is like, yeah, that's really not cool. Like,
people turn
Sienna,
on her. People turn on her.
Yeah, they turn on her. They're like, and Max Frost interrupts and he's like, we don't have time for this drama. We are not cheerleaders. We are not ballerinas. We are actors. We are acting here.
That's right. Dramas for a couple of different groups of people: cheerleaders, gymnasts, ballerinas.
Not us.
Great. That was such a good line. Like, put that on a T-shirt, please.
It was something.
And then to end the scene, he's like, all right, class, let's work on some Meisner exercises. And you guys probably don't know. And a lot of people probably don't know what Meisner is. But you basically like repeat a simple word or phrase over and over and over till it loses all meaning, and then you find the truth behind the words.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened here, and exactly what we're going to do as we go to break. And Patrick fixes his microphone because it just went to a different input. We'll be right back. We're going to break. Oh, hi, Mark.
Break.
Welcome back, everybody. Patrick, hello.
I'm back.
He's back.
Oh, sound great. I did find the meaning of the word break.
Yeah,
I found it.
We figured it out.
We did.
We're good to go. So yes, everybody doesn't like her, and she's like, whatever. And that's just kind of the way things go. And Mark obviously tries to fight for Lisa, comes back during the day and is like, hey, I want to once again reiterate the fact that I don't own a camera. I don't even have a camera. And she's like, no, I can't do this right now. Well, the interesting thing that he never once does is say, hey, why would I print out photos and keep them in an envelope in my car? He never brings up that fact. He just keeps going, I don't even have a camera. We all have cameras, man, like on our phone, but whatever. It doesn't matter. She sends him officially is like, hey, we're not going to do this. Stay away. After my husband died, this was a big thing. And the fact that you've betrayed my trust, I don't want to talk to you ever again.
Yeah, and the drama is too much for Sienna. She goes to a fancy dinner with Max, and he lets her order wine, and she's like, "Are they gonna let me drink this wine?" And he's like, "Oh, they don't have to know."
She doesn't.
And it's like
He doesn't let her order it. He brings it to her. He orders it for her.
Yeah, and it's not great. She's like, "I don't really want that."
And he does this thing where she's like, "I don't like." Isn't like I'm gonna get in trouble for this, and he's like. Actors shouldn't follow rules. Rules are what keep you in the box. Actors are all about being outside the box. Rules are trying to constrain us, and so we gotta try to break the rules.
Really starting to sound like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, and that's when he gives her a back rub.
Oh no!
To calm her down because she was so upset. These are all like good details of examples of things that you should be like on the lookout if you're a young actress.
Yes.
Yeah, like
listen,
like maybe it, someone says that you're pretty and you're like, okay, I'm sure it's nothing, blah blah blah. If they give you wine and give you a back massage,
if their name's Max Frost,
Max Frost,
right?
These are all good things to keep in the old noggin.
Yes,
run.
So, Sienna is invited to go to Hollywood so he can introduce her to the group.
The group's gonna love you, and they can help. Kind of, you're so pretty. That there's going to be no problem getting you a bunch of roles.
Oh, yeah. And she's going to have like a spiritual awakening. She's going to have ideology. Yeah,
ideological.
Ideology of betterment is what this group
there
is
you
all
go.
about.
Crushed it.
And if that doesn't sound so appealing, he just is like, okay, we'll just go. And she writes a letter to her mom. She's like, went to Hollywood with Max. Don't try to find me. And she goes.
The end.
Right? So Lisa rushes to the theater. She's like, where's my daughter? And she's gone, obviously.
So she called.
The police can't help.
Yeah, the police is like, she's 18.
Because they are.
You do.
She's 18, and Lifetime is always very clear to express that when it's like one of these like iffy teen things. They're like, 18, they're 18.
They're 18. So she calls Amy, and Amy's like, I don't know. Like, I've been actually kind of a real dingus to her ever since she got the star role. But you know who might know is Haley. Haley was the star pupil. We saw them arguing outside of the school. Yeah. Maybe there's something to it.
Right. And so she sets up a meeting. I'll just jump to the meeting while we're talking about it. So Haley is a motel maid now. Like she went from like acting school to like a motel maid. Lisa's like, I have some questions about Max Frost. And Haley tells Lisa that Max is a good actor. And, he's working for this group of industry insiders who traffic. Like they didn't say traffic, but basically like have a Rolodex of like pictures of these girls that they're using as blackmail to get them to do whatever they want in Hollywood.
Right. And somehow, again, this is part I'm very unsure about this, but this happened to Haley, I guess.
Yeah.
And then she said, I don't want to do it anymore. And then went to class the next day and did this.
Oh, Romeo, wherefore?
At this point in time.
Oh, wow. So that scene is taking place now?
No, in scene one, in the movie, when they're doing the follow me exercise, they're clearly in love. Something happens. Then the next day at class, she's doing this Romeo thing. From what I understand, he took her to Hollywood.
Right.
Took pictures of her for blackmail. And then I guess when she said, I don't want to do this anymore, he just let her go. But she showed back up at class and did the weird Romeo thing. Is that your understanding too, Patrick?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Because we don't know what happened, but we're about to see with Sienna because he just took her to Hollywood, right? So we're in this very LA home. Sienna is so impressed. There's a pool, there's a backyard.
Whoa.
I gotta be honest with you.
And
The house is fine.
it wasn't
the house
that
is
great.
fine.
It was
the house is fine.
There's a gift in the bedroom though, and in the bedroom is a sexy dress for her to
Sexy
wear
dress.
for the group meeting. And Sienna's like, this dress is too much, like saying like, oh, what a nice gift. But really, she's like, this dress is like not my style, and it's kind of like not appropriate for what I want to wear. And he's like, it will impress everybody, just wear it. So he meets her by the pool with some wine, and he tells her that the group is going to love her. He steps away to take a phone call, and Sienna looks in the mirror. She doesn't feel like herself.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, what am I doing? This isn't
I've
me.
changed.
I don't
I'm
want to do
phony.
this.
Great
Yeah.
phony.
And then she like looks through. Max has his camera there because he was like
He
taking
does.
pictures of her in the dress.
He does own a camera.
Yeah.
He has a camera, so she looks through the photos and finds pictures of Haley in the same dress, the same like sexy dress, and she's like, okay, this.
And
this
she
is it. We gotta
scrolls.
get outta
She
here.
scrolls further, and she or back, I guess, and sees pictures of the students leaving the school. So it's clear he took.
Oh yeah,
he took
everything's
it's
there.
all
Everything's there.
it's all becoming very clear to Sienna what happened here.
Yeah, and Max catches her with the camera. He grabs her, and he's like, "Hollywood's not done with you yet."
That's right. So yeah, go
So
ahead.
we cut to commercial. Sienna wakes up. She's tied to a chair
Uh-oh.
in a candlelit room. Lisa has been on her way from the theater, and she sneaks in the back door, like unties her daughter, and then she punches Max in the stomach.
A pretty good punch.
But yeah, it was good. And they like are tussling around, struggling over like trying to get a weapon of some kind. And before he can strangle her to death, Sienna hits Max over the head with a wine bottle.
Nice.
Yeah. So, you know, we love the mother-daughter bonding moment. And we cut back to the lake house. We see Sienna's just an ordinary girl now. She doesn't care about being a Hollywood actress. She just wants to go to school.
Mark's back. Mark's like, I told you I didn't own a camera. I don't even
Did they
own
even
a camera.
figure out who did? Was it?
It was
Max.
Frost.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
it was
okay.
Frost.
It
He
was-
took
it
the
was
Max. When Mark approached him the first time, he figured out this guy's going to be a problem. So he's playing chess here, takes the pictures,
and
then plants
sets
it,
him up.
and then when
Gotcha.
he comes back and is like, that's when he's like, I'm going to store this away. I know that I have pictures in the back of this guy's car. At any point in time, I can accuse him of being a creep.
Bingo, bango.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. And Haley is they're all pressing charges like against Max, and Haley's going to testify in court against him, and Sienna decides to like give up acting and just enjoy her summer, just be a normal teen for the summer until she goes to college.
My acting coach
And
nightmare.
that's the movie.
There you have
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Acting Coach Nightmare.
Man.
We did it.
We did do it. Let's pour it up or put a cork in it. That's
Yes.
I'm right.
Yes, those are the two things.
Yeah, that's it. Pour it up means we would recommend. Put a cork in it means we would not recommend. And I think we start with Dan because he hasn't seen the movie.
So I'm gonna pour up Brand's Eric Von Detten accent. I think first and
So good.
foremost when you get that out of the way. But I'm putting a cork in this. This sounded uncomfortable, and that I did not want to watch it. It does sound very prescient to the stuff that's been going on with Quiet on the Set. I've not watched Quiet on the Set. I've heard from Brand about it. I've heard from Aaron about it. I just thanks, but no thanks on this movie. And yeah, it's a hard pass for me. Put a cork in it.
Okay. Bran, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's ick factor 970 over here.
Ick factor 970?
Yeah.
Out of 1,000. That's
yeah.
really high.
Yeah, I
You
didn't-
could have said 9.7, but you went 970.
970 made me feel icky. Yeah, with just everything. Yeah, as Dan said, it's just the timing here, good timing in regards to like, hey, this is a hot button issue right now, but also like bad timing because it's just like really fresh on the mind. And like, yeah, it's just, yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun like a lot of the other, like with murder. So, yeah,
There was no murder.
no murder. No
Get
murder
back to the
here.
good old
No murder.
stalking
No one died.
and
No one
murder.
died.
No one, putting a bunch of Housewives out in the old
Yeah, you
jungle.
You guys put a cork
Love
in that
that.
one. I mean, come on.
This though, Ick Factor 970. I'm gonna put a cork in it, although well done and whatnot. But 970.
This movie, I think, is not made for most of the movies we watch and talk about are not made for us in mind. But this reminded me of a movie era of like the after school special kind of movies. So for that reason, I think I'm going to pour it up, because if I was a teen and I was watching this and I was in high school, this might have made me speak up in that scenario where I would have been like, I've seen this weird kind of stuff happen. That's not right. And for a teenager, this would be a great movie of like a how-to of like, okay, if I'm in an uncomfortable situation, what do I do? Maybe don't go to Hollywood, first of all.
Maybe don't.
But also like tell an adult and,
when your college teacher starts taping the windows shut for the breathing exercise, maybe say something.
Yeah,
exactly.
I also
for that, I will pour it up. And you're right. It could have been more campy and more fun, but I think it if the movie was made with the intentions that I think it was, I think they succeeded at that.
But I will say, like there was a couple of like Haley just kind of being like, I'm gonna go to class and do a bad performance after basically getting away from human trafficking. It was a really weird thing to do. Like, it's obviously supposed to, like, I guess, throw you off at the beginning of the movie, but when you find out that this has happened to her, like, you would, I don't know. I'm not trying to speak on behalf of anybody that this has happened to, but I would have, if Sienna goes to class the next day and it's just like, Frost, am I right? Like, it's just like an interesting move. Not just be like, this guy is a human trafficker.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm going to go to class and go, Romeo. Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
I think we could have solved it with, like, instead of just like name dropping like that Haley went to testify against him, we see that in some type of like wrap up montage where she gets a little more agency. As a character, as a female, empowered.
They should have just had her not come back to class, though. Like that scene with her being in class was really weird, knowing what we know about what happened to her.
Exactly. Yeah, but theater never stopped.
The theater never stopped. That's true.
I've missed all my grandparents' funerals for shows. So
all of them.
There you have it. Well, I went to my grandpa's, but I wasn't in a show at the time. But I've missed.
So
the other
some
ones.
of them.
Well, my grandma is still alive. She's 97.
Obviously.
Well, let's cast her.
Yeah. Shout out to, who is that? What's her name?
That's Mama Raquel.
Mama Raquel. Shout out.
We love you.
So you missed 2 grandparents' funerals with plays, right?
There you
66% of the ones that have passed.
Okay, yes, of the ones that have passed. Yes, 67%. That's right.
It's complicated.
But the theater doesn't stop is the message.
So it's an Ick 970
we won't get
situation.
into biological and adopted and all that stuff,
All right. Well, now we don't have time. Patrick, this has been so much fun. Always great to hang out. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. And LifetimeOnCork.com. Check out Patrick. He's reviewing all the Lifetime movies. And
they're there.
It was great. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.